are back, episode 60 of Journey to a Million here on this Thursday evening. We said 5 o'clock. That ended up not happening. Zack was having some power issues, and it looks like
he was
Blame
late.
Zack. Blame Zack.
Drew was late.
I was not late. I sent the invite at 4:40 p.m. Central. It was said, but yeah, I mean, we're here Thursday night. Just three guys talking football. I'll go to you first, Jared. Want to hear how it's going? We go back to school next week. I want to hear how you're doing.
Yeah, doing good.
You're just
fourth semester now. Yeah.
fourth. Okay.
Counting.
Yeah.
Well,
Fourth,
good job. Doing well. I gotta talk about later something. That Jared's always right. I like to say, and I got some more proof to this statement. Zack,
I don't know what the proof is.
how's it going for you? Seems like you're busy doing some training. Right. The last few days, and everything been going well.
That's what I'm doing.
Well, I didn't get to that first. But you're busy training. Let's say you're training, but then we'll talk about at J2M football at the end of the episode here. But look, we have a lot of good content that Zack has coming to you, and I'll let him talk about what he all has in store the next few weeks next week, even what Jared has in store there at J2M football again. But how's it going?
Just fair warning, if some of my information is incorrect, do not hold it against me. I usually use my phone to fact check, and it's currently my light, so just a fair warning.
We'll fact check for him. But
where's your flashlight, Zack?
What?
Is that what you're using? You're using your flashlight on your phone?
Yeah, I got my flashlight on my phone so you can actually see me. Otherwise, it's
his whole block went out of power.
I could do this.
So how is your laptop still working then?
It has battery, Jared. Laptops have this thing. It's a battery where you charge it, and then once the battery's charged,
Jared got him with the voice crack. Oh no, but honestly, I don't get how did it all go out now? I mean, there was some snow in northeast Wisconsin this morning, but it ended up turning to rain slush
or something.
Yeah,
somebody probably hit a power pole.
Something, but hopefully that gets all squared away. We might see your lights come on mid-episode. That'd be pretty cool. But I mean, honestly, Zack, you had a pretty good last few days in the Dynasty League. You've landed probably one of my favorite trades that you've ever made.
What did I do?
Oh yeah.
So the trade was Zack got the 1-1. He got pick number 1 overall, and he gave up the 14th.
Take Will Levis.
Okay. He gave up the 14th overall pick, so second, round 2, pick 2, and Najee Harris. So I guess Zack, walk us through.
Well, I really wanted Indianapolis Colts quarterback Will Levis for the 2023 season, but
it's awesome.
No, I want Bijan, so now you get Bijan.
Are you taking Bijan?
Yeah.
You had some Stroud talk. I was confused about that.
Well, right now I got Jimmy G as my second quarterback. But I think in year 1, Bijan and Stroud will probably have a similar, I guess, fantasy output. And then I still got 2 first-round picks next year too, so I'll wait a year to adjust the quarterback spot. Well, I don't think my picks are going to be the number 1 pick.
Well, you have 2 firsts. I guess who are they?
Yeah.
Isn't one of them Alex?
Jared, you really want to stink it up next year?
Oh, Jared.
No.
If Jared really stinks it up,
why do you have my first round for next year?
I got your first rounder for the next 2 years. Not this year, but the 2 years after this.
That?
Yeah.
Was that Alec Pierce and who else?
That's my league. Nope. Chris Godwin.
Godwin.
Godwin, and then we made that Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins trade.
And
did I give up a first for that?
It was you got my first from last year, and then I got your first from next year.
That trade was a whole lot of nothing. I felt when you guys did that trade.
Yeah.
Well, if
you
look
swapped
back,
old receivers.
I definitely won that trade looking back, But then
Thomas
I traded
comes out next
Hopkins
year.
again.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then you try to be too
I
trade
got
happy. You
fleeced for
traded
Hopkins,
for
I
Bateman.
got fleeced.
Little Dub took a dub.
Yeah. I mean, joke's on him, though. I still finished better than him, so who really lost
And
the
then
trade?
I got Devontae Smith from him for Michael Pittman. Or I got Devontae Smith at 2 seconds for Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
Such a great trade.
That's an
I'm
L on
looking
your
forward-
part, Drew. L on your part. Wait until we get Stroud. Pittman's going to be
I
top
got 2
10.
seconds and Devontae
cares?
Smith, wide receiver
Stroud's
9. L on
9.
your part.
him in top 5. Are the Colts
Come on,
trading up?
No, that would be stupid. There's 3
we were just
quarterbacks.
talking.
They get the 4th pick, right? Yeah, we were just talking.
Well,
Colts get the 4th pick, and the Cardinals aren't taking a quarterback because they get the 4. The Broncos don't get a pick. It's the Seahawks, and they're going with Jimmy or not Jimmy. Gino.
Hold on here, right?
What would possibly happen?
Say like a team like the Carolina Panthers, right?
Say they all trade up, to top 3. That's not happening, Zach. It's not happening.
I could see at least 2 of those picks getting traded.
Okay. The Bears aren't taking a quarterback.
I don't think the Bears are picking there. Texans are going to take one.
Yep, Texans will
I
take
think
one.
Bears trade their pick. It would only make sense.
Okay, say they do that.
And
cool.
Do you really want to be the team that just gets whatever quarterback's left?
Zach, let me just ask you
this.
Team? No, let me ask you. When's the last time that the top 3 picks have been traded away? Top 4, top 3, never. It's probably never happened.
Well, Jared,
it's not going to happen.
Okay, we just went over a scenario where 1 pick is traded, and
Cardinals
they get the very
aren't
last
3.
quarterback that's left. I'm not saying Cardinals. Cardinals, Bears, either one of those trade out, and the Colts are going to get stuck with whatever quarterback is left.
Why would the Seahawks trade out?
The Texans.
No,
so Texans are going to take quarterback,
they'll
right?
take one. Yes, yeah.
Texans, yes.
All 3 quarterbacks are fine. You think that just because we're left with the last one, we're just going to be terrible?
Right.
All 3 are good quarterbacks.
All right. I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter. I don't care who we get.
I would not want the quarterback that's left there. I would want to get the quarterback that I want.
Well, and we don't know who those head coaches, so we don't know who they want.
Wasn't Baker Mayfield the number 1 overall pick?
Yep.
Yeah.
And who was to follow him?
I don't know.
Probably someone better than him.
I'm sure there's a lot of better quarterbacks. I'm not sure.
Well, that was 2017, right?
Yeah,
because Goff went number 1 the year before.
Yeah.
Was that? Wait, Mayfield wasn't the year like Mahomes and all them came out, right?
Oh, it might have been. I think
he was.
Might have been.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
So just because you go top 2 doesn't mean that you're the best 2 in your draft class. Obviously, we know that.
But sure. I'm saying like the Colts are going to scout all 3 of the quarterbacks, right?
I'm sure
they're going to have a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3, right?
Mm-hmm. And if number 1's gone, they go to number 2. If number 2 is gone, they go to number 3. They're still happy with 3.
I don't like that. No. But
why wouldn't you like getting your franchise quarterback?
Number 1.
You're not settling. You're getting a top 3
I want number 1.
But everyone wants number 1. The Bears
everyone wants their
1.
Guy. If you got a guy, you got to get your guy. So if the Colts had that guy,
get your guy. Stop saying get your guy.
There's
so many guys we could get.
All right,
Jared, we don't have our guy.
So you want like 5'10", 185-pound Bryce Young?
More.
Okay, so let's think. So say Bryce Young goes, number 2 overall, goes to the Texans. Okay, there goes him. All right, we still got 2 good options up there. Then let's say Will Levis goes. All right, well, say, I don't know, who would take him? The Panthers. Say they trade up and they take him. All right, we're at 4. We take Stroud. Say Stroud goes number 3 or number 2, then we take
I'd
Will
want
Levis.
Stroud, but you're banking on Stroud.
I'm sure we don't care. We need a franchise quarterback. And we're not going to see that and be like, now we have to trade up to number 1 to make sure we get someone.
If you're going for a franchise quarterback, you're going to want your favorite quarterback out of those 3. You're not going to want the third option.
Okay, so if we trade up, let's be realistic. We trade up to number 1 or 2. We give up our next year first as well. That would just be stupid. We'd have to give up our next year's first to get a franchise quarterback.
Jared, if you get the quarterback you want, because you're going to want that guy because you think
you don't know who you want yet. All 3 quarterbacks are great.
Well, the odds of all 3 of them being franchise quarterbacks is slim.
And the season hasn't ended yet. We don't know when draft stock is going to go up and down. We don't know who's going where. So
I
can't really say this yet. But
the day of the draft, the Colts are going to have a guy that they want the most, that they think is the best out of them 3.
Their guy. They want to get their guy.
Yeah. They're going to want to get him.
I cringe every time you say that, Drew.
Well,
yes, every team goes into a draft with 1, 2, 3, and they're mad if number 1 goes. Yes, that's how drafts work. But if they're stuck with number 2, you can't go back in time and say, "Oh, I wish we would have gotten him." No, you take the second best available, and it's
That's
not
why
worth
they're
trading
trading
up to go
the
2
number 1
steps up.
overall pick.
That's not smart. You don't
They're
need to do
trading
that.
up to the number 1 overall pick,
Zach, how about this?
and they're
How
going to
about this?
draft CJ Stroud, and
No,
you're
how
going to
about
be
this?
happy.
So how about all 3 quarterbacks go 1, 2, and 3, and we're left with no one? Well, then we trade that pick away and we get Caleb Williams next year because we're going to be terrible next year anyways because we're going to have a young developing quarterback on his first year who's not going to be like he's not going to be that good.
Or hear me
That's
out,
what's going to happen.
right?
I'm already realizing that.
The same that happens, and then next year you're like the 4th pick again.
Yep. Then
and
we
then
trade
you have
up
to
'cause
trade
we
up like
need a quarterback.
3 first-round picks.
Zach, there's so many quarterbacks this year that you don't need to trade up because not all 3. The only way we'd trade up is if number 1 and 2 are like CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and then like the Panthers trade up to number 3. We're going to want to trade up to 3 before they trade up to number 3 because we're not going to be able to get a quarterback if 3 go 1, 2, and 3. There's no reason to trade up to 1 or 2.
Like Jared, your logic makes sense, but you're assuming every single quarterback is going to be great.
You're also assuming that you're going to get the franchise quarterback, the one guy you get, and you're not going to care about the next years to come and how you're going to set yourself up for the future to build an offensive line around this quarterback after it just fell apart last year. Say you get
quarterback's the most important position. So
yeah, say you get CJ Stroud. Say you trade up to number 1, you get him. You give up next year's first. Okay, then you get maybe a lineman in the 2nd round or something like that who has to develop because we have a young line now because we lost all of our all-stars we had. Then you go into next year's draft. Okay, well, we had a terrible season. We have our quarterback, yes, but we have no protection for him. You try to get one, maybe 2 linemen, then they're still young. We have no one to build up right now. Our line has been terrible this year. I mean, we have Nelson. I don't know how long he's going to stay there, if he's going to get traded or not. You know, it's not going to be good if we just have a quarterback. You need more than just a quarterback. So say we get one of the 3, then we can build around them. You don't just get them, put them in our system, and we're all of a sudden contenders. It's not going to happen.
Think about Joe Burrow his rookie year, Trevor Lawrence's rookie year.
Yeah.
I mean, Burrow tore his ACL. I mean, I
no protection. He got sacked like 8 times that one game or whatever against the Titans. Was it last year? Whatever it was.
Or it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, whatever it was.
And think about Lawrence with Urban Meyer's rookie year, and that was what that was. But no, I agree that you can't just get a quarterback and just say it's all okay. No, I agree with that.
If we had that quarterback instead of Carson Wentz, if we had that quarterback instead of Wentz or Phillip Rivers, we could have been contenders. But now we don't have a team to build around that. Like, we don't have anyone else. We have Jonathan Taylor, a few receivers. Our defense is falling apart. Offensive line is terrible.
You do not have a head coach.
Yeah, we have no one. So, I mean, there's not just a quarterback that's going to solve this. We need a quarterback to build around.
Who do you think they're going to get? For head coach.
Oh, head coach.
We're done with the quarterback talk, Jared. We've established our stances.
Well, we've been interviewing a lot of people. I think we just finished. We did interview Jeff Saturday today.
That was just today.
He's coming back.
Let me see if I can find. Who else did we interview? We interviewed the offensive coordinator for
the Eagles.
It was more than just the Eagles, so we just did one today here. Colts completed the interview with Jeff Saturday.
Broncos defensive coordinator. Didn't you interview him?
Yep, interviewed him. Yep.
Yeah.
I know we've interviewed. I don't know. There's so many tweets, but we've interviewed like 3 offensive coordinators, 3 defensive coordinators. Saturday, outside contender candidates. We've interviewed probably 12 plus people.
Do you know who
I think
your guess is as good as mine? What?
No way.
Are you mad if Saturday gets hired again? Comes back?
Yeah, but no. Like, it's gonna feel like a ego problem if he does get hired back, because Irsay needs to be right. I love Jim Irsay, but I mean, I think first Chris Ballard gets fired.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be part ways.
And then that GM can be in on that decision to who the next head coach can be, you know. But as of now, I have no guess. I have no idea who's going to be our coach. Us interviewing Jeff Saturday, I'm sure, is just what every team does. You interview the interim head coach. I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, you interview him unless like he was really bad and didn't win any games.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that
He
scares
won
me is
one.
Irsay. Irsay loves Saturday. I mean, the whole Colts organization loves Saturday. It's just the media that's been all on him. So, and he also
Like
hasn't
us.
really stepped up. But, well, yeah. Also, I think Brandon Staley is also staying as the Chargers head coach because
Yeah, he's staying.
But it was the blame the offensive coordinator season.
That's what the Colts did earlier. They fired their
blame the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I do think though Wink Martindale of the Giants is going to be, once they do his interview, once the Giants lose this week, I think he'll be a pretty good candidate, and they're also interviewing their offensive coordinator. But I wouldn't mind.
Well, Ken Dorsey. Would you like Ken Dorsey?
We also interviewed Dan Quinn, which would be a cool. That would be an awesome signing for a head coach. I think that's who I was thinking about. Yeah, I think we just interviewed him. Yeah,
Dan Quinn's got a lot of people want Dan Quinn, and now Sean Payton reports are saying 20 to 25 million a year he wants.
Sean Payton is out of the running for us. I don't even want him.
No,
a pick like that is not worth it.
I'm done with the Sean Payton hype. I think after what I've heard about 20 to 25 million plus the draft capital, it doesn't make sense for a lot of these teams now. It made sense kind of with the Chargers, like we thought.
The 20 to 25 million, the only thing that really matters is can the owner afford it, right? The coaching salary doesn't really affect the cap space. It doesn't affect any of that. Yeah.
Every team can afford it.
Can the owner afford it or not?
Every team
these
can
teams
afford
that have fired people under contract,
rich.
they're gonna have. They're not gonna want to pay that 25 million for a guy when they've fired guys and they're gonna have a contract through whatever, like Arizona, for example, right?
The Texans, they've paid so much recently just firing coaches.
Was Culley a multi-year thing?
David Culley? I think so. I'm not really. I guess. Yeah, I'm not really sure how.
I guess the point is,
it wasn't just a one-year thing.
They've fired a lot of coaches the past year.
Zach, I thought the same thing too. That it's whether they can afford it or not. I don't know about that whole Raiders thing. If they couldn't afford to fire McDaniels because they were didn't have enough money. Ian Rappaport said every single owner in the league can afford to hire and fire a coach if they really wanted to. It's not really a money issue. It's just what they use to cover it up, I guess.
Well, also if you sign a coach a 6-year deal, say it's 6 years and 15 million a year or whatever, that's what 90 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, all owners probably could figure it out, but some of them probably don't have
the
just
money
90 million sitting somewhere that they could just.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money even for a billionaire. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, some other coaching. A lot of stuff happened today. You guys noticed today was coordinator day. You're a coordinator, you lost in the playoffs, or you're a coordinator and the offense struggled or defense struggled, you're out. And we saw Greg Roman. That one was the mutual parting of ways. I don't know if I really believe that one is a parting ways. Do you?
No, he got fired.
Yeah, okay. What about the defensive coordinator with Miami? That one was a firing. Josh Boyer was the guy. The defense was 24th in points allowed.
I mean, that team was stacked too. They traded for Chubb. They had the weapons too. It's something with the coaching.
Well, I mean that one's fine. I mean, someone probably has to go from that Miami team, and I McDaniel was not going to be the guy.
Not going to be McDaniel. Yeah, it better not be McDaniel. Love McDaniel.
Did you guys hear about the Chargers? This was the other thing I wanted to touch on. Well, we talked about Joe Lombardi. I mean, we've heard about Joe Lombardi being fired, but they fired the passing game coordinator / the QB game coordinator, Shane Day. Nobody really talked about
the QB coach and pass game coordinator.
Is that also throw the blame on them kind of a thing?
Yeah, I think they deserve some of the blame though.
Because you guys were so against Brandon Staley. You didn't mention any of these guys. And now they're all getting fired except for Staley.
Well,
so is it
Staley's a defensive-minded coach? Guys? Staley's not this offensive guy. Okay, sorry.
Well, yeah, but the offensive
Staley still hasn't been good though.
No, he hasn't been good. But
they had issues with the offensive coordinator. I think Joe Lombardi and Greg Roman were kind of the two offensive coordinators that was kind of consensus that they needed to go or a changing to happen. LaFleur. Yeah, but Staley still has the clock management, decision making. Like he still has some other stuff that hasn't been
gambling.
great either. So like, yeah,
feels like he's playing like blackjack or something when he's.
Well, my whole point here is like
doing...
when we mentioned Staley after that Chargers game, and you guys put 40% of the blame on Staley, and you said the rest of it is on the team. You didn't really mention organization, offensive coordinator. What? Yeah, well, Zach loves Justin Herbert, so he didn't want to blame Herbert for anything.
You both.
And I'm not saying it's Herbert's fault. I know we talked about this already. I'm saying Brandon Staley did not coach a good second half. Correct. He didn't make any adjustments that he was supposed to. But I mean, that wasn't all Staley. As it comes out, it could have been the OC. It could have been, the quarterback coach. It could have been stuff that he play caller.
It's a combination of all of them. Yeah. I mean, I think
they couldn't run the ball.
This is how I view it. It's like if it's like a close game or whatever, and or a quarterback throws a bunch of picks, or there's fumbles, or just missed blocks, like blatant stuff like that. That's when you blame the players. But if you're up 27-0 and you blow the lead, that's not just players not playing good. That's like there's issues within like the play calling or the strategy. There's issues beyond just the players. Yeah.
Like there's for sure a schematic issue, and you see that when, again, I'm going to go back to the second half. They couldn't run the ball. I mean, they could not run the football, and that's what you want to do. You want to chew the clock, keep it moving.
They've never been great at that either.
And
that's the big issue that they have.
Well, they went away from how Eckler plays. That's why I mean, biased a little bit because I had Eckler in a FanDuel that day, a single game parlay. And first half, he had 2 touchdowns, like 20 points, looking good. Second half, he's a receiving back. I don't think he had 1 reception in the second half, maybe 1 or 2. And that's like what he's known for. He was in there blocking. He didn't get any receptions. Like they were just trying to rush things. And it reminds me of like the Colts game. I hate to keep mentioning the Colts and Vikings when they were up 33-0. I mean, that happened to Matt Ryan was terrible in the second half, but everyone blamed Jeff Saturday. Matt Ryan was not good. He had interceptions at half. He had fumbles. They choked. I mean, there was a lot that went wrong on Matt Ryan's end, but Saturday got all the blame. But now this is like the opposite where the coaches are getting the blame, or the coaches aren't, like, I don't know. It's like it's similar. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. It's like.
Well, you just took a playoff game and related it to the Colts, so it's definitely not similar.
Well, why does it matter if that's the playoffs? a choked lead is a choked lead in the NFL. It doesn't matter if it's playoffs.
Yeah. The Chargers have never really been able to like run the ball. So that's why it's like they weren't probably meant for weren't built for the playoffs, because in the playoffs you get a big lead like they did. You want to be able to run the ball, you want to be able to like chew the clock down, and that's just not how their offense plays, which leaves them susceptible to comebacks and stuff. But at the same time, like I guess I don't know how many yards per carry they average or whatever in the second half. I'd assume it's probably 2 to 3, somewhere in that range. But you still they should still be able to score. So that's where it comes back to like the offensive coordinator and the guys that are making the game plan. So,
well, I mean, we shouldn't even be talking about this because Trevor Lawrence did tell us that it was a pretty well written script. So, I mean, it was all scripted anyways.
Talk about, first half not having anything going, then Lawrence second half stepped. I mean, he still, like, if you look at the game overall, he didn't necessarily play great, but like, he stepped
first
up.
First half he played just terrible, and second half
he had like a Nathan Peterman first half. He literally looked better, like worse than Nathan Peterman first half, and then
Asante Samuel.
He wasn't seeing the defense. Like he was just throwing it right into the cornerbacks and the safeties. Like he just didn't see them. It was terrible. I don't know.
Do the Jaguars have a chance against Chiefs this week?
No.
That's what I want to talk about. Actually,
it's gonna be like 42 to.
What do you mean they don't have a chance? Okay, hold on.
I mean that they're gonna get blown out by 3 scores. That's what I mean. They don't have a chance.
I think you're doubting the Jaguars a little bit, Jared. But I do want
Trevor Lawrence actually has played like a top 5 quarterback the last like 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, but you're not remembering, Zach. The Colts beat the Jaguars and the Chiefs. The Colts should be playing in this game right now.
Okay.
They beat those 2 teams, and that was about it all season.
Yeah, I thought they were going
anyone
to
else.
Banner. Like a banner in Lucas
Oil
Oil
they beat
Stadium.
Denver.
Beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Real impressive.
Yeah.
Denver is real impressive.
And they beat the Raiders too. So
Oh, that was that.
Good
Was that
wins.
Thursday night game when they beat the
yeah, it
that
was the
beat
12
Denver?
to 9 game. Yeah.
People were like, that was like paint drying. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
No,
what's his
but-
Al Michaels summed it up. You can't. What do you say? You can't like. I don't remember the quote, but he said like he can't make it interesting. The players have to do that. You can't sell me a
like,
used car or
as a
something
bro-
like that. He said.
As a broadcaster, you can't make a 12 to 9 game interesting.
He said like I
Yeah.
can't
What do
sell
you-
you a
is that
used.
kinda what he
He said
meant?
yeah. He said I can't sell you a used car. That's what he said.
Okay. So I have the 4 lines up from the 4 games this weekend of like the spread, right? And I'll read them. And I want to see if
should
we
guess
can,
them.
I want to see if you two can match the spread, match the game it's to. That makes sense.
Okay.
So here they are. I have -5.5. What game do you think that? I'll give you. Do you want me to read all 4, or do you want me to just read one and then you guys guess?
Read
the
all
game?
4.
Read all
Okay.
4. Yeah.
So -5.5, -4, -8.5, -7.5.
The 4 is Buffalo, Cincinnati.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Jared?
Hold on. So I
No,
think
no.
I'm
We'll,
gonna say
we'll make this a little game. We'll have Jared go.
I'm just gonna say right away the 8.5 is Chiefs Jaguars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then the 7
5 and
is it 7 or 7.5?
man.
Well, I got it right, so I go again, right? Make it take it.
Oh
kind of
no.
thing.
Oh, okay.
No. 5 and a
No,
half
seven.
is
Okay.
What's that?
I think I already know. I didn't look or anything, but
5.5 is Bills and Bengals.
Yep. Yeah.
then 7.5 is Eagles Giants.
Yep. Okay.
Or
See,
7,
you
whatever
guys,
it was.
you were close, Zach. The -4 was the Cowboys 49ers. Does that surprise you both that the closest game Vegas predicts is Cowboys 49ers? That surprises
No, it
me.
surprised me that Zack put the Cowboys as the worst playoff team right now, below
They're,
the
I mean,
Giants. Like that's crazy, Zack.
well, Zach's banking on the Giants winning. If I'm,
He
to
says
not
it's
speak
a
for
matter of
Zach,
inconsistency, but then
The Cowboys, okay,
I don't know.
look at that game against Washington. They were terrible. Then they play the
Mhm.
very next week, and they're like the best team in the league. Like,
were
I
they
mean,
playing
Dak
for anything
played.
in that game?
Dak played one of his best games.
probably
like
his
that.
best game ever.
Yeah, probably. And the
Yeah.
fact that they're 4-4 on the road this season. I mean, 5-4 if you throw that playoff game in there. But like,
I mean, the Buccaneers
know-
weren't good all year, so it wasn't.
but yeah, but like, I mean, Cowboys haven't played well on the road. Cowboys, again, to Zach's point. I mean, like, you don't know what Cowboy team you're getting. If you get the Cowboy team like last week, granted it's the Bucs still, this team could go to the Super Bowl. I think that's
Let me see. I'm gonna bring this up right now, Zach. I'm gonna bring up your power rankings that you had because you had who'd you have the Cowboys under? You had them under the Giants, and you had them under
The Jaguars.
everyone.
the
Yeah,
Jaguars.
the Cowboys
yeah.
is the lowest
Everyone
team.
left in the
Yeah.
playoffs. The Cowboys were below.
So
Which is
Cowboys,
bold.
New York, Jaguars, Cincinnati. Okay, so Chiefs, 49ers, Eagles, Buffalo. I think Buffalo is above. That's close. They're either way it can go. Cowboys should be 5 or 6.
Cowboys,
Jaguars should
5
be
or
bottom.
6.
They should
Giants
not be
should
5.
be 7. Yes.
Why
Well,
do you think
Bengals
the
should be
Jaguars should be
5.
bottom?
Bengals can be 5. Cowboys 6. Giants. No, I think the Jaguars are they're the Jaguars. True, they're the Jaguars.
The AFC South winning Jaguars?
Trevor
It's just-
Lawrence has looked. He looked all the part of that number 1 pick the last couple weeks.
I mean, not the first half, excluding the first half last week, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Excluding the first half.
You saw
last
that
No,
first half and you're like, why are the Jaguars even here? And then they pull off a miraculous comeback and it's like, oh, that's why they're here. If you have
It
to
was fun. It
question
was
why
a
a
fun
team is in the
comeback.
playoffs, if you have to question why a team's in the playoffs, they're not a top 6. I'd put them at 8. Cowboys 6, Giants 7. Cowboys are not
after
worse
week
than the
18, I was questioning why the Cowboys made the playoffs.
Zack, they had nothing to play for, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They
They
were
were the
playing.
5.
They were playing for the
They-
division.
The Eagles
Yeah,
won.
They're at the same time as the Eagles. They're playing at the same time.
But didn't
It
the
wouldn't have
Eagles win by
mattered,
a lot?
but
It won't have matter in the end, but at the time they could have won the division. As they're
at
playing.
kickoff, yep.
I guess.
Okay, but with the 4 games, like, I honestly think the Jaguars can cover that 8.5 spread. Am I weird for thinking that? Or
Very weird. They can cover 4 of the spread.
that's 8.5.
If they're
You're
on a
telling me
good day, on a good day they lose by 4.
you're telling me they can't just lose by 7? I don't know. I really think they could cover that. Like, I think you're underestimating the Jaguars a little
I watched
bit.
the Jaguars play every single game this year, basically. I've seen them at their lowest, and I've seen them when they're actually a really good team.
I just, again, last
Talk
5,
about
6 weeks.
inconsistency. Talk about inconsistency. The Jaguars have it all over them. I mean, that's the
But
definition
they
of
like
inconsistency.
they started good, and then they had like a big lull in the middle,
Yeah,
and they've been playing good for like multiple weeks in a row now. That's different than
Yeah.
just having like a down week every like 3-4 weeks. Just having like one bad game, playing good for 3, bad game, playing good for 3,
but Zach,
bad
they
game.
haven't put it all together yet. They haven't had a solid full game all year. Even when they beat the Colts like 28-0 in Jacksonville, they were only up by like 10 at halftime. It was like 10-0. I mean, they haven't been like outstanding for a whole game, and you need to do that to beat the Chiefs. If you're against the Chiefs and you have a bad first half or even a first quarter, like you're too far in the hole. You're not coming back.
Yeah, I'm saying like if they want to win, they have to play like they did the second half last week. They got to play like that the entire game.
A full game. And that's, yes, so they have to have the best game of their entire year to have a chance to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs can have a mediocre game and still stick around with Jacksonville. So yes, if Jacksonville wins, it's going to have to be their best game of the year, and the Chiefs are going to have not one of their worst, but like a decent game. That's the only chance the Jaguars have.
Chiefs are 7-1 at home, and they have one loss at home. Who is it from?
Bills.
The Colts. Colts.
Didn't the Bills
We
beat them at Arrowhead?
We beat
No,
them
it was
Lucas
Bills.
Oil.
Sorry,
Yeah,
we beat
Jared, it
them
wasn't the
at
Colts.
Lucas
I wasn't gonna try to be.
Yeah.
No, but
If the Chiefs
Really?
make the AFC Championship game, they're getting smoked. Losing by 2 scores.
why is that?
who?
Is that
Maybe
just
not
because you
2,
said it?
maybe not 2, but
To who's that?
Come on. Yeah,
Bengals.
I got Bills out of that game. You got Bengals.
Bengals. Okay.
I did the underdog, like the was it the playoff best ball thing or whatever?
Yeah, and you put Joe Burrow on your team.
I got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and like Tyler Boyd or someone I got later too.
Yeah.
That's
And,
too
like,
much of
Hayden
a
Hurst,
stat,
I
isn't that? Or I guess there's 4
How much
teams.
was
Or
that?
not
How much
4,
was
8
that?
teams.
What, the entry?
Yeah.
Like 25, I think.
Payout's
But like
probably
pretty
good,
much
though.
if you want to
It's
like
a
win,
risk. Yeah. Yeah.
you
gotta
literally
risk it.
gotta like you gotta pick your Super Bowl teams and then like load up on like those 2 teams, and if they don't make it, you just
You got to be
It's the
unique,
same as-
right?
It's the same as daily fantasy. Like you have to get lucky. You have to not get lucky.
you
but
have
need
to
make-
have
hope
have to
choose
have,
the
like,
right players.
the
Yeah.
top scorers of a team that makes the Super Bowl. Like you have to.
So I want to read you something quick. It's a little off topic, but I was kind of mad because going to Drew, you'll understand a little more, but NBA, right? So I was doing daily fantasy,
Mhm.
and my players across the board, this ties into this. So I had Drew Holiday 60, TJ McConnell 56, his career high against the Bucks. This was a couple days ago. Oladipo 32, Bridges 42, Scotty Barnes 46, Portis 37. You know, all these players, I put up 336.3, which is the highest I've ever put up. Normally that'll win you a lot of money.
And you lost.
Yep.
But I had Chris Duarte, who put up 9. Did not win any money. That's what I'm saying. If you can have the week of your life, you can have that lineup. It was amazing. None of my players put up under 30, except for Duarte, who put up 9. And I was in the
Duarte,
money.
Jared.
Because Matherin
don't
and Halliburton were both out. Not Matherin.
Yeah, take Andrew
Halliburton-
Nemhard.
Nemhard put up like 12.
Whatever.
TJ McConnell
Okay.
and Miles Turner were the big 2.
Maybe you
but that's
had
off
too much
topic.
Pacer in there. You should have stuck with the
Pacers
McConnell.
had a good game. If I would have, I had
put up a
Isaiah
lot,
Jackson
yeah.
in there, but then he was ruled out, so I put in Turner, and then I put in Portis for Turner instead. But
Is this a
My
my
basketball
whole point here,
podcast?
is just to
Oh,
go. No,
Is
says
this a
Zach,
basketball
golf.
podcast?
Zach,
What
I'm
about the
trying to
golf
tie into what
podcast?
Is
you
this a
said.
basketball
Golf
podcast?
You can stop, Zach. No, I'm trying to tie it into what you said because
This is
you
a
need to
football
get so
podcast.
lucky. You need to
That's why we
get so
talk
lucky.
golf.
Say Burrow throws 2 touchdown passes to Jamar Chase. You're looking pretty good. But then you forgot that Tyler Boyd's also on your team and he didn't get anything. You're not going anywhere, you know?
But Jared, here's the thing, right? Like if the Bengals make the Super Bowl,
If
I'm feeling pretty good. Like I think I have like
If they
Saquon
beat-
too.
if they beat the Bills in as the underdog and they go to Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs as the underdog, yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's all
mean,
they gotta do.
huge if. Yeah.
Think about last year, Jared. I mean, they certainly.
Sorry to go back to basketball. But yesterday I did a prize picks.
God.
Trey Lyles had 10 points. He needed 11. I would have won $245. But instead, I won like $12 because I had times 25 if you do a 6-legger.
How does that relate to whatever we're talking
sure.
about?
Yeah.
Well, no,
it does
what
not
were you
at
saying,
all.
Zach? What were you saying? No, you have
Hold
to
on.
be like what?
You have to select your team that you think is going to make it. I think the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl, so I chose the Bengals top duo, and then I have like their third receiver that could have a big game, and
their top duo. Yeah, well, that's
Joe
not
Burrow,
the
Jamar
best.
Chase.
Yeah,
those are
okay,
top two
I
guys
guess.
for fantasy
But
points.
wouldn't you rather have like Diggs or Allen to Diggs if you could get them, or Mahomes to Kelsey? You know.
No, because I think the Bengals are beating the Bills this week.
Because you have to go double, Jared, right? You have to think about
$10.
Oh no.
I don't bet.
I'm
Zach
banking on
anymore.
the Bengals winning. Like Bengals lose, yeah, I know my team's
Yeah.
not gonna. I might make it to the second round.
But
Like,
hey, that's a
I'm not
risk
gonna
because
make
a
it
lot.
past that.
I'm sure not a lot of people have the team that you have either.
That's what I'm saying. You have to diversify, be unique. You know,
Yeah.
if you want to have
then-
that big payout.
I have, like, you kind of gotta like stack up top of like the teams you think you're gonna make the Super Bowl, and you need those to hit. Then you also need the players that are gonna get you get me to the second round. Like I have Saquon. They might lose this week, but I got him in like
Probably
the
will.
5th round or something like that. So like if he can get me to next week, it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
Is
If-
that wait?
the more
Is that
obviously the more players you have playing, the better chance you have of winning the big money. Obviously. So
Yeah.
is that why you have Eagles losing? Just because you got Saquon in the 5th round?
You have the Eagles losing?
Yeah, Giants winning.
Yeah,
Giants
because
are
he
hot.
said
Your
you got
Eagles
Saquon in the
are-
5th round.
Look at your prediction. You did not have the Eagles losing.
Yeah, I do.
In your
Now I do.
bracket that you put out?
It's
No,
changed
now
up.
you do. Now you do. Yeah. Now you do.
Did you see
You
how
did
the
not.
Giants played last week?
Yeah, I saw how they played last week.
Giants
see.
are riding high right now, and the Eagles are not at their highest point.
Oh, you did change it up. You do have the You have the
No,
Giants.
he didn't change it up. That's how
He
I
just
posted
it
that.
now. Did you?
I posted
Yeah,
my
on,
whole like,
on
playoff
Instagram it has
bracket.
Zack. It has Zack with the
Bengals
with
oh
the
my-
Giants.
That's gonna get some comments. I'll tell you that. The
I
Giants
will
have been one of
argue
the most
anyone on that.
inconsistent teams throughout the year. They've been so
No,
mediocre.
They
but
have
they've
been consistent, one-score
consistently
games.
mediocre. Yeah,
Consistent one-score games.
yeah. They're like the Lions or the Vikings, but a little better, I guess. I mean, they're like the same team. They're winning close games.
Well,
That's all it was.
Jalen
they're playing
Hurts,
against the
he's still
Eagles.
feeling that shoulder
No, he's
injury a little
not.
bit.
No,
Still
he's
feeling
not.
it.
He literally came out and said, "I'm back." After last week, he was feeling 100%. He said.
He didn't play great.
What's he
though,
supposed to
against the-
say?
He said
playing at
he's back and ready
50%?
for the
No, he's not
playoffs.
going
I
to
mean,
say
they're-
that. That's what anyone would say.
Hey, come back next week after that's and if the Giants win, I mean, yeah, show it to me. You know, shove it in my face. I don't care, but the Giants don't have a chance in this game. You
Doesn't
said that all the games
7.5
are going to be
mean-
close. You said all the games are going to be close. The only close
Yeah.
games, no, Bills game. I don't think that's going to be close. I think the Bills win by 10 plus. I think the Eagles win by
What?
10 plus. I think the Chiefs win by 15 plus. I think the Cowboys and 49ers are going to be the only really one score close game.
Really? I think
so.
all four have potential to be really close. I think
Maybe
like,
the
we'll
Bills and Bengals might be like a one score game, but I got the Bills still. Probably about
Hold
like
on.
7.
All right. Like, I like the Bills, right? I like their team. But in week 17, before that game, like the
Recency
whole
bias.
Damar Hamlin, yeah. Cincinnati was up 7-3. They're driving down the field. Well, they're at like the 45 or whatever. They were looking very good. The Bills
They
could
were.
not stop them.
Yeah, they couldn't. You're right. You are
Joe
right.
Burrow has, every time he's made the playoffs, they've been either in the game or they've won the game. He's played great.
But Zach, do you want to know something? Throughout the entire year, you have such recency bias right now because throughout the whole year, the Bills did not leave your top 4 teams in the league. The Bengals weren't anywhere near your top 5 the entire year. Now the Bengals have like 1 or 2
They were
good
always
games
like
in a
5
row.
or 6.
They weren't always 5 or 6. To start the year, they were awful. They were like 1-3. You had them at like 20. Something like that. But
I
yeah, you
I
did.
don't think
I'm
I had
almost
them that
positive
low.
you did. Well,
I
not
don't
that
think I
low
had them that
probably,
low.
but like 12 maybe. What I'm saying is like you're being I mean, the Bills haven't looked the best lately, and the the Bengals have. So you're trying to say like, oh, they're playing better, but the Bills are still the Bills.
You can say I'm having recency bias or whatever, but
Zack likes the Bengals, and he's got his $25 entry with a lot of Bengals, so he has to root for the Bengals. It makes sense to me.
I do it too. If I have a daily fantasy goal, I'm cheering for that team. Yeah.
Oh, that's why. And again, I just don't like the playoff best balls because like you're banking on you have to get the right players right, but you also have to get players that'll play the most games. I just don't like that concept. I don't know.
Hey, but if you get it right, you're looking good.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. But like, is there any other like DFS plays you guys are looking at like this week? You know, like
I'll do
throughout the games, like Daniel Jones at quarterback, anyone, or Trevor Lawrence with that 52.5 over under and at Arrowhead.
Could be good value. Could be good value. Not Trevor Lawrence, but Daniel Jones. Could be good value.
What's the over under for the Bills Bengals game?
I'll hear a guess from you, Zach.
44.5.
54.5.
No.
49.
I can tell you all the
we're the same distance away.
We were.
Yeah, that's a good average.
No.
Bills and Bengals. I have Bills and Bengals at 48.5.
Okay.
Cowboys, 49ers, 46.5.
Similar.
Yeah.
We're the lines. I'm using ESPN, so we're like half off ish.
Okay, the highest one is Jaguars Chiefs. Guess what that over under's at?
I got 52.5. What do you have for
53.5?
Oh, ooh. They're moving.
And then Eagles Giants are 48.5.
What is that from? Because the odds they use is Caesars.
This is Yahoo.
Okay.
What's it called?
The Yahoo. Yep.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yahoo Sportsbook. Okay. So it's Caesars might be more accurate. They're one off, whatever. Close enough.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking right now. Still, I know we talked enough about the draft and stuff. You know, we talked a lot about the draft, but hold on, I want to just prove how Jared's right, and then I want to talk about more dynasty. But
I like that,
Jared.
Yeah.
So there's 8 head coaches left in the playoffs. How many of the coaches are offensive minded?
Probably 8.
All 8. And guess you know,
it's weird. It's weird.
We were talking.
I like that Jared's right.
Well, it doesn't necessarily make Jared right, but Zach, you were in the conversation.
Proves Jared
with
temporarily right. Yeah.
Jared highlighted how he prefers.
Guy?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
All of them are offensive backgrounds.
No.
I mean, you could say
I
like
don't count Zack Taylor
last year was defensive minded, and they made it. So I mean, this year it worked out that way, I guess.
Sure. Well, this year Jared's logic worked out. Jared said, "I like the offensive guy." And guess
if you're a team on a team that doesn't have a coach, you need offensive help. You want them to bring in an offensive minded coach. You don't want a defensive minded coach on your team.
They're also like young good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I just found that coincidence.
Who's the oldest? Dak? Is Dak the oldest?
Yeah,
Jimmy
Dak.
G.
It's got to be.
Jimmy G's probably.
Jimmy G's not playing, Jared.
Well, I mean, like on the team, I guess Brock Purdy is the youngest. Yeah.
No, I think it's probably Dak. Yeah, it's
and then
Dak and then Mahomes probably.
Money Minshew.
Yeah, probably
not
Mahomes.
Dak quarterbacks.
No.
Yeah, it's probably Dak, Mahomes, and then like Josh Allen and Joe Burrow.
And then Herbert, Burrow, they're all right there.
Herbert's not in, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Chargers lost.
I mean, we probably wish. Jared, you predicted the Chargers win, or not Chargers win? You predicted the Chargers loss. Yes, Zach and I predicted a Chargers win, so that didn't.
Drew,
work out
you
in our
had.
favor.
I think Zach had 2 wrong because he also said that. No, Zach said the Giants were going to win. You guys both said the Giants were going to win, didn't you?
Yeah,
the Bucs.
Yeah, the Bucs winning.
Zach got 2 wrong. I got 1 wrong. Jared got 1 wrong.
Yeah. Cool.
So and then okay, I guess game picks wise this week still. I mean, it sounds like Jared and I are both pretty firm on what we had in our bracket, where we have no upsets. We're not really
the 1 and 2 seeds winning. Yeah,
Zach. Sometimes it's like that.
Sometimes
you take Gonzaga and Kansas all the way. You know, sometimes that's just how it works out.
Sometimes that just happens.
Nah, you guys are
sometimes you take Marquette.
Sometimes
you take the 15, the number 15 after they pull off a big upset. You know,
Giants and Bengals are winning. Jaguars lose by 7. Cowboys lose.
You just
by
want
3.
chaos, don't you?
Yeah, it's
Zack
more
gets
fun.
spoiled because we just saw
You
a
just
great
like-
wild card weekend. It was a great wild card weekend, and every game was close except for Cowboys Bucks. So Zack just wants more close games, but we're not going to
It
get
was
it
a good
this
wild
time.
card weekend.
Jared,
It was.
it's been the theme of the whole NFL season. Close
It's been a
games.
great season. Yes, it has been. But Mahomes is
There's
not
been
going to
some
lose
sloppy
to
games.
Trevor Lawrence. It's not even going to be close.
If the Jaguars win, I will
AFC
personally come
champions.
back. I'm going to be clipping this episode.
Do it. Post it all.
It
on your
will be
TikTok.
posted.
AFC champion. Trevor
AFC
Lawrence.
South
Jacksonville
champion Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, they're gonna put a banner
He
up.
beat
Well, if
he
they,
beat a 7
beat-
and 10 Titans team, a 4-12 and 1 Colts team, and a 2-14 and 1 Texans team. Like or 3. They had 3 wins.
3.
what about
3,
beating
13 and 1.
the 10-7 Chargers?
It's a good game by Justin Herbert or from Trevor Lawrence. Had a good
Oh, why
comeback.
don't you know who the quarterbacks are, Jerry?
What about the Cowboy game?
The Cowboy game, I mean, that was Cowboys just had a bad game.
The Cowboys were up like 3 scores, and then Jaguars came back.
Yeah, in the second half. What
They're
week
doing
was
it
that?
against Mahomes too.
They're-
I don't know.
That's not going to happen against Mahomes. No, Mahomes
Yep.
gets up by 2 scores. He's not blowing that lead.
31-10.
Mahomes needs 13
Jaguars-
seconds to drive down the field. Remember that.
31-10. The final will be 34-31 Jaguars.
Mm-mm.
Jaguars are beating the Chiefs.
Crazy.
You think that?
Yep.
You're
No,
saying it right
31-point
here.
crazy.
comeback.
Jaguars are winning.
No, yeah.
Honestly,
No.
though, like
My final score
But-
prediction, just going to throw it out there, 42-28. Chiefs win.
why
It's
so
gonna be a
like
blowout.
much?
It's going to be a blowout because Chiefs, I mean, Jacksonville does have a good defense, but the Chiefs are just going to go. They're
They
going
really
to.
don't.
Jacksonville? They've held
Yeah.
teams. I mean,
Neither one
3
of those
points in the
teams
second
is
half to
that
the
great of a
Chargers
defense.
is got to be something.
Yeah,
Jaguars have
that's
solid
Bill Lombardi's
linebacking
job.
core. Linebacker core.
Yeah.
Wait.
Josh
Are you talking
Allen
about Jaguars
on
and
the line
Chiefs?
there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Chris Jones has played very well interior.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, Chris Jones is good.
I
mean,
I again, how dare I highlight one guy out of the defense, but right. I mean, the
Mhm.
secondary's had issues. Hasn't necessarily been.
yeah.
I
but
really
just
hope
before
that.
23.
No, believe me, I really hope that the Jaguars win. I want to see new faces up there, but it's just not going to happen. It's not even close.
Dude,
Do you think Chiefs are
No.
making the Super Bowl?
I think they lose to the Bills. I think Bills and 49ers. I predicted that. I'm staying with my predictions.
Okay.
I don't think the
I'll-
Bengals have a chance in that game. I won't say that. I think that'll be a good game. It'll be a close game, but the Bills are going to win.
part of me like wants to say Eagles, but like they're that 14-3 team, right? They're that 1 seed who was, I don't want to say the clear cut best team in the NFC, but like they were like the one that they were the team to beat in the NFC throughout the whole year, throughout the whole regular season. Like you could just see them losing, like in round, like here in the division or getting upset, and I'll say
I mean,
upset. I
last
just
time
Does
they
it
were-
not
they were the
scare
1
you
seed.
that
Last time they were the
Week
1 seed, they
18
won the Super Bowl.
yeah, it scares me, Zach. That's why I did
Week 18,
say
yeah.
that was the game that I was most on the fence on. But I don't know.
Jared
seven
still
and
thinks
a
the
half
Eagles are
line.
winning by like 25 or something.
Well, no, I just
Yeah.
people are overshadowing. They're sleeping on the Eagles. They've been the best team all year, almost. I mean, top 3 team all
See,
year.
that's
Last time
exactly
they were
what
the
I'm
1
talking
seed.
about.
Well, last time they were the 1 seed,
Yeah.
they won the Super Bowl. I don't.
They
think
also
the
got
Eagles
hit
are
with
gonna
the
lose
injury
to
bug
Giants.
late.
What's the Eagles'
And-
record against the Giants this year?
2-0.
So why do you
And
think
what
the
is-
Giants have a good chance to win?
It's hard to
Zach
beat
likes
a
the
team
narrative.
3 times in
Oh,
one
come on.
season. No, but Jared,
Come on.
hear me out. This is like if you look at like week 18, right? Giants lost by 1 score. They were playing their backups, right? But also the Eagles got hit with the injury bug late. Like even though they had the bye week, like Lane Johnson, Jalen Hurts, I still don't think
Mhm.
like those guys are 100%.
Well, no. I
Like,
mean,
they're
this
good
deep in the
enough to
season,
play.
no one's 100% this deep in the
Yeah.
season.
But I don't know.
I think that they
Giants
have
are riding high. Keep it going.
The Eagles just
It
have so
does
many
ha-
weapons. They have a good running offense. They can throw the ball. I mean, they're the same team that they had. I mean, last year. Now they got AJ Brown. They made the playoffs last year, barely, I know, but we kept saying it all year. Now they got
Yeah.
a top 5 receiver in the league. They're a scary team. They can.
You gotta
they could win it
like
all, honestly.
you have to like how the Eagles got a week off, right, with the bye, much needed bye for a banged up team injury-wise. But you also have to like how the Giants have some momentum coming in last week, playing last week. I think it helped the Giants for playing last week. I think it helped the Eagles for having a week off last week too, based on injuries. So I'm hoping that one again. That's 7:15 on Saturday. That's on Fox. 3:30 on NBC on Saturday. Like before the game before that's Jaguars Chiefs. 2:00 on Sunday is CBS. That's Bengals Bills. No Nickelodeon on that broadcast. Just if you guys are wondering. 5:30 is also Fox. Then to round it out, Cowboys 49ers. No Amazon.
Sponsored by Nickelodeon. But how much?
No Nickelodeon. This is tough. Fox gets 2 of them. NBC 1, CBS 1. There's your TV stuff. If you guys care, do you care about where you watch
I'll
the
be
game?
watching all of them either way. So.
Am I the only one who like? I mean, I'll watch them, but like I care.
I don't
where
care
the game
who plays when. I just watch whatever game's on.
Like, do you care about like
don't
what
care,
network
no.
it's on though?
No, not one
No.
bit. I'm
Really?
watching the game either way, so
Yeah, as long as it's not on like NFL Network or something that I don't get, I'm fine. You know?
as long as it's not on Nickelodeon only.
That's true. Yeah, I don't need to
It's
watch
great.
what Slime Time, whatever you call it.
NFL Slime Time, where they give out the MVP awards.
Do you guys have NFL Plus?
No,
No.
I have
Do you?
NBA.
No. Yeah, I
League
got it.
Pass.
You do have NBA? That's cool. I just got breaking news coming in. Vikings fire defensive coordinator at Donatel.
Yeah, that was coming.
That
Oh yeah, there it is.
just came out. So while we're recording here,
I mean, now that we're mentioning
first
my
takes?
Vikings, I think the biggest problem for the Vikings is trying to keep Justin Jefferson. Did you see him after that loss? He was just kind of staring at the field like, It just kind of seems to me like the same thing. Yeah, the same thing happened with Stephon Diggs. You know, they just couldn't win, and you don't like the system, so you requested out. I just think that
what if they pay him a
Jefferson
bunch of money?
I think he can get money anywhere he goes. I think he's just going to feel like he's too good for the city, and he's going to try to get out of there and go to a contender.
Was it Colin Cowherd or was it Stephen A. Smith that was talking about that?
I don't listen to Stephen A. Smith, so I'm sure it was Colin Cowherd.
I'm not sure who it was.
He was saying like Minnesota shouldn't be worried about like Kirk Cousins.
I think it was Colin Cowherd. It was Colin Cowherd.
Yeah, like if they can retain like Jefferson, but they're probably gonna have to pay him like what $35 million a year, something like that. It's gonna be ridiculous. But
if I'm Jefferson, I don't stay with the Vikings. I go somewhere where I know I can join I hate doing it, but joining like a super team, just like the Rams did last year. They put a team together. They bring in OBJ.
But the thing is, like, the teams that are that good don't have $35 million to give to them.
Yeah, well, they'll find a way.
He's stuck in Minnesota for at least 4 more years.
Unrestricted free agent 2025.
They're gonna take him twice. Why won't they?
Well, he's gonna probably request a trade. That's my guess.
Well, his 5th year option again is gonna be.
Yeah, so he's got his 4th year, then his 5th year option, then 2 years of tagging.
Well, you can say that about Rodgers too. Like he's under contract for 3 years. Doesn't mean he's going to play there next year.
Yeah.
If he wants out and doesn't want to play, that's his choice. He can sit out. I doubt he'll do that, but
isn't it crazy how he's only making right now like $3 million for next season?
Making as much as Luke Gedeke almost.
Well, yeah. I know, but the rookie deals, like, I mean, in baseball, it's similar. You get 6 years though, but plus with the 3 arbitration. But with football here on this side, do you think would he have the decent, like with the sign and trade basically? I mean, it's what we saw with Adams, and that's long term. Like that's not going to be like Zack mentioned. That's like 4 years away. If that happens,
they said this offseason they're talking extension for him. Like they're going to talk to him extension, and he came on and said he wants to be wherever he's wanted.
I mean, I think the article that you're mentioning said that they're going to talk about contract extensions this offseason, but as of now, they haven't even spoken to him yet.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins too, guys. Kind of old.
Cousins he's mid.
35 this year, or he's turning 35 this year.
Wow, he's that old.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we bring that up because I mean this was kind of the whole dynasty talk with Jefferson. Because 4 or 5 years down the road, do you know whose quarterback is? You know who Jamar Chase's quarterback's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, obviously, I think Jefferson's still the choice over Chase, but
Arch Manning.
4 years from now, who's gonna be Justin Jefferson's quarterback? We don't know.
Joe Burrow's going to be.
What?
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase,
Trade.
Justin Jefferson, and Cincinnati.
They are gonna. Those three will be the cap space. That is the cap space. Everyone else,
Yeah.
minimums. Mercedes Lewis will be out there.
You know how crazy that would be?
Oh my god. Yeah.
I don't even want to think about that, Zach. That'd be that's like Madden. That's like when you used to do your Madden rebuild or your Madden base the franchise stuff.
You could literally just
When you
like
can fleece trades
not
like
have
that.
a defense. You could like
Did you-
not have a defense.
You sim
Yeah.
defense, didn't you? You definitely were the guy to sim defense. I know you were.
Oh, 100%. I was
Yeah,
not playing
come on.
defense.
I like
Why would I waste half the time playing defense
when you
when
could
like
be,
I just give up? I'm terrible at defense, so like, I give up a touchdown like every time. Well, like if I'm playing offense, I can throw for 600 yards and 7 touchdowns easily. No
we
problem.
played online before.
Yeah.
607.
What?
Oh my.
Is
Is that Madden 2011 that you play downstairs on your Wii?
No, Madden 20, Madden 2020.
Okay.
But I figured it out. If I have the quarters of 7 minutes long, like the stats are actually kind of realistic. Like
Have you
it's enough
played that
time-
recently?
Like at the end of the last semester, I played it once, like a couple times, just when I had some downtime. But if it's 7-minute quarters,
Nice.
I can pass for like 300 yards a game and have like 80 to 100 rushing yards. But I don't get to like the 600 yards or anything because I just don't have time. So
Mhm.
I figured it out.
You made it kind of fair. Okay.
Yeah, I had
I guess-
15-minute quarters and I had a game with like 850 passing yards, like 8 touchdowns. So
All right. I want to talk about what we have going on, right? So at J2M Football on the TikTok, Zach and Jared have been pairing together, making some beautiful posts, right? Jared
yeah,
has his
mostly
team of the
me,
week.
but
Mostly
can I
Zack
get
for now,
wait,
but I'll be
mostly
putting stuff
me.
out soon. I'll be putting
well,
stuff out soon.
let me finish. Jared,
That's-
I want to guess the team of the week. That was the Texans. Am I right?
no,
It was.
no.
It was. Okay. But Zach's been making some excellent posts at J2M Football on the TikTok. And he's had today came out some cut candidates. And then of course, right, we mentioned the power rankings. You can see those potentially earlier on there. And then there's a bunch of other content, right? Some fantasy stuff, some football overall rankings, positional rankings, so much content, parlays. You might see some of those on Instagram, but if you want the full access at J2M Football on TikTok, Zach, anything
Jared, I got a
surprising, anything
question.
exciting?
What?
Who are the Colts gonna? If the Colts are cutting somebody this offseason, who's it gonna be? I was trying to figure that out, and they got like DeForest
Matt
Buckner with
Ryan?
like $20 million cap
No,
hit, but like
Buckner's gonna be
obviously he's not
traded.
gone.
Buckner's going to be traded.
Traded.
Yeah. We're
Why?
going to trade Buckner. I mean, obviously we're
I
going
feel
to
like
cut
I'm-
Matt Ryan if he doesn't retire.
Hold
I mean,
on,
we're not
give me
going
1
Ryan
minute
again,
with
but without Light. No, I
yeah,
think
I'm looking up something.
our highest cut candidate right now, if it's not Matt Ryan, and if we don't trade Buckner, we're going to cut Buckner because we just don't have the money to pay him.
Hold on. What about Grover Stewart?
He wasn't much
He has a
last year.
10
We
points-
could cut him. We could cut him.
$10.6 million cap hit with a
As long
dead
as we
cap
keep
of
Zaire
1.25.
Franklin. And Shaq Leonard.
I'm looking right now too.
Okay with that.
Packers,
I mean,
put
Gilmore.
Aaron
How much are we
Jones, which
paying?
is
How
like
much are we paying Gilmore?
Gilmore is another one. It was like 12 million like cap hit, and then there's like a 2 or 3 dead cap hit.
Because he's
So
like
he-
30 plus
Here's
right
another
now.
one. Yeah.
He's getting old. We could cut him. Drew,
Yeah.
how many Hall of Famers do you think the Colts defense has? Zach and I were just kind of talking about that.
Buckner probably one.
That was my 2 to 3 right there. That guy kind of right there. Yep.
I'm gonna say 2 to 3. I'm gonna Gilmore.
Yep. Gilmore at 100% is going to be a Hall of Famer.
I don't
Because of
credit
his
And then-
career
Gilmore
on the
though because
Patriots.
he's a
but
Patriot. Like he's not.
Well, yeah, he's going to
he's
be in
not
the
a
Hall of
prime
Fame. He's a
Gilmore.
Pat- well,
It's
no,
like
but-
Trevor Hoffman getting the Hall of Fame, but He was on the Brewers for whatever. But okay,
and I
and
said
then
Shaq Leonard if he stays healthy.
I was just about to say you're banking on Shaquille Leonard, so I have 3.
Yeah, I said 3. Yeah.
Right.
Zach said he said the Colts defense was
1,
terrible.
2,
We
3.
got 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, the rest of the guys.
But who's 4 or 5? No 4 and 5.
Zaire Franklin led the league in tackles this year, her career or franchise record, whatever it was.
Well, I mean,
he'll be
Jelani Woods, right?
Bobby Okereke. If
he's not in that defense, but
we talked way too much.
Jelani
Colts,
Woods
guys.
is not a defensive player.
Whatever. But okay. To answer my question to Zach, right? There's more divisional cut candidates that he'll be highlighting. And then he's also, of course, got the playoff stuff coming out. There's a lot of great stuff on there.
You said, is anything surprising? Frank Clark has a $30 million cap hit next year.
30 million?
What's his dead cap?
Million. Like 9 or 10.
Wow.
So yeah, guess who I have down for the Chiefs?
Chris
easy.
Jones.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, actually.
Yeah.
Pencil that one in, but okay. But yeah, go follow that. And again, we'll let you guys know with next week's scheduling. We're all starting school. Hopefully, we can go back to that classic Wednesday time around 5:00. That's going to be the goal here. I see Zach's face. Wednesday 5 looks good. Okay, we're going to plan for Wednesday at 5 for upcoming weeks. And we'll keep you all posted on that and just enjoy some football this week. You guys got anything else?
No, but I want to see how this Chiefs-Jaguars game goes. When the final score is 42-28,
Okay, stop.
I'll bet you $10 the final score is not 42-28.
All right, I'm cutting you.
I'll bet you $1 million. It's not
Jared. They call it the Journey to Million for a reason. They used to like to throw bets
something
left and right.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to wrap it up here for Zach Roush, Jared Valesky, and myself, Drew Skyberg, here on this Thursday night. Thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew Sports Crew, the Journey to Million, the perfect podcast for you.